Hey there, friend, and welcome to Art and Cocktails. I am Kat, artist and founder of Create Magazine and Art Queens, and today I want to talk about creating and marketing and building a sustainable creative business at a slower pace. So a few months ago, I realized I really needed a break, and I shared a few videos on here about my self-prescribed sabbatical, and it's been about a month since my last exhibition, and I've been really settling into a much calmer and more peaceful state. I started by just identifying the fact that I needed a break and I was burnt out, and of course, I was really worried about how I was going to make my financial goals without hustling or burning out. And I think for a lot of us, especially if you're self-employed, slowing down can feel really overwhelming. And whether you are worried about scaling back, showing up on social media, or scaling back production at the studio, or whatever variation of your version of taking space, taking time, and slowing down to the energy of the earth is, I totally understand how scary it can be, because we're so often taught from this capitalistic society that we need to produce more, we need to make more, we need to do more, show up more content, more art. And eventually we just reach a point where we cannot do it. But what I've found, and any time in my life where I've allowed myself to actually slow down and to listen to my body, listen to my heart, and listen to my soul, I find that there's a lot of support available. And I kind of even shared some of those things with you in the last video, which is all about the true kind of purpose of creativity beyond sales, which is so important. But if you are a creative business owner, entrepreneur, or self-employed artist like me, you probably need to make your bills every month. So the question is then, how do I continue to support myself and show up authentically while honoring the energy level that I'm at? And so something that I've been learning over the past few weeks is that just because you take a slower pace doesn't mean that the intensity and the quality and the potency of what you're creating has to be diluted. What I mean by that is, let's say you are creating less, but maybe you raise your prices a little bit and honor your energy levels. Maybe instead of posting 3 times a day on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, you just strategically think about what you're trying to say to your audience and in what ways you're trying to connect with them. And instead of creating tons of exhausting content, TikTok dances, reels, you just find a few of pieces of content or creatives that actually speak to your mission, speak to what you're offering, and support your audience in some way. So I've been implementing this in my own world, and instead of posting a ton, I've actually really scaled back my output, and eventually I'll probably want to show up more because I actually really do enjoy showing up and sharing. So it's not really stressful for me. But I also run multiple accounts. So I know that I used to post a lot more on my business accounts. And now I just kind of post what needs to be posted and not going overboard and trying to come up with tons of additional content. And that's been super, super healing. The other thing, like I said, if you believe in a higher power or the spiritual realm or even in science, the quantum realm, you know that if you set an intention for something, it has to come to pass. And one thing that I've done is I told the universe, I told spirit and God, however you choose to identify with your faith, is I said, please support me. I really need a break. I want to keep going at this. I know I'm meant to do great things. I know I'm meant to create more. And I want to be doing this for the rest of your life, but could you please show me that you're supporting me? And it has actually really worked. I've been able to continue selling my work that was through different galleries that, months ago that I've sent the work. I've also been able to monetize my skills and knowledge by recording a course and selling it. So I have students buying that course every week. Here and there, it's not like hundreds of students, but it definitely helps. And then the other thing that has happened as a result of slowing down is that I'm able to more consciously and with more intention plan out my months. So for example, in July, my intention was to open up my books for one-on-one clients. So instead of trying to do 100 things, post a million videos and do all kinds of stuff, I simply just focus on that. And I got 2 beautiful one-on-one clients. So for you, it might be maybe setting an intention that in July or August, you are opening up commissions. Maybe in September, you launch your online workshop. And in October, maybe you offer prints, or you could do multiple things, but I recommend if you're feeling overwhelmed, just really focusing on one thing at a time and doing it well. Doing this allowed me to attract perfect clients. So not just rushing, trying to get a quick sale, but actually taking my time interviewing people, really listening to the energy of both my body and how I feel when I interact with these people to see if it's the right fit. It also took away any anxiety that I used to have, like, oh no, what if they don't work with me? Or what if they don't like this painting? Or what if, whatever. There's so many crazy thoughts that go on in our head. But because I was able to slow down and let go and say, okay, I choose to believe that no matter what, I'm going to be supported. It could come from a painting sale. It could come from an unexpected email, an opportunity to, let's say, teach at a university, which happens to me periodically. I love to go around and speak about art careers to university students. Or it could just be a new idea that pops into your head. But in order to have new ideas and new insights and new clarity on your creative business, you got to give yourself space. I know every time I create from a place of feeling rushed or pressured or needing something really quickly, it ends up not being a great experience versus when I sit down and I really ruminate and I let the ideas come to me. Ironically, it also takes less time for me to get clarity on that idea because there's not so much noise and pollution going on. But it also helps me create more quality offers and artwork for my clients and collectors. So if you're worried about slowing down, here are some helpful tips to help you continue growing your business, maybe at a different pace than you're used to, but also help preserve your energy so that you can keep doing this for years to come. Because my intention for all of us is it's not just about having a flashy show in Paris or London or New York once. I would rather us have less flashy events and more intention, more profit so that you feel calm, your nervous system is calm, and you're able to continue showing up for your art and for your community for many, many years and decades to come. So the number one tip that I have for you is something that's been working great for me, and feel free to adjust it to your pace. It could be less, it could be much slower, it could be a little faster, but I try to focus on one main offer each month. So like I mentioned, 1 month, it could be a launch of small paintings. 1 month, it could be focusing on commissions or one-on-one clients if you're a coach or mentor. 1 month, it could be launching a print sale. 1 month, it could be creating a course. So this way, you're not frazzled, you're not trying to do 100 things at once, but you're putting your energy and intention into a beautiful final thing. The other thing that has been really helpful for me in terms of marketing and showing up online and preventing overwhelm is to honestly, I know this sounds a little bit cheesy and woo-woo, but before posting, just setting an intention that the content is going to reach the right person. Whether they find it beautiful, inspiring, helpful, or enlightening, it doesn't matter what your intention is. But this way, when you sit down and you post that reel on Instagram, or you upload that TikTok video, or you record that YouTube, you know that you've set the intention to reach someone, help someone, inspire or motivate someone, and you don't need to worry about the logistics of it. Now, if you are feeling inspired to research on hashtags or visibility strategy or content strategy, of course, there's so many resources now on YouTube, podcasts, like Gary Vee is a good one. Amy Porterfield's a good resource for that. And Jenna Kutcher also has some great content. But honestly, I find that when I post from the heart and I don't worry about the algorithm, I don't let the algorithm control me, I end up getting better results because I actually end up connecting with the humans on the other side rather than just getting a bunch of numbers, likes, and views that don't go anywhere, which I know from having large accounts. My personal account has over 70,000 followers and my Create account has over 200,000 followers. And I know that sometimes those numbers mean nothing if I'm not actually connecting with someone and reaching someone on a personal level. So instead of worshiping and bowing down to the algorithm and doing everything for the algorithm, I've actually changed my approach to thinking of a person. It could be a friend, it could be an old student of mine, it could be a collector. And when I have that person in my mind and I share and post from the heart, all the ego stuff about who saw this, how many likes, how many downloads this had, it goes away and I end up focusing on our conversation. So my win, I've changed the metrics of how I measure my success now, is that if I can have a conversation in the comment section or in my DMs with someone as a result of a piece of content that I shared, to me, that's a win. And yes, we want to grow, and yes, we want to reach more people. And there could be, when you have more energy or you're, feeling up to it, there could be a strategy to create more viral content. Maybe it's a silly meme, or maybe it's a really insightful how-to video. That's great. And I think there's room for that. But at this point of my life, I'm really just trying to be helpful and connect with the people who want to hear from me. So that's been a great way to slow down. And instead of feeling like I have to do a million things, I'm able to do the few things that I have well. The number 3 thing to help you have a slower pace in your creative business without losing momentum and while having profitability is to honestly take a look at your offers. So looking at your artwork, courses that you offer, prints, stickers, merch, whatever it is that you share in your online store or as part of your business, I want you to take an honest look and see what's actually bringing in revenue and or fulfillment. When you do that, you're going to be able to minimize the noise. So I know in my business, there are certain things that are very, very profitable and fulfilling at the same time. So for me, it's obviously my painting sales. When I have that, I don't always have paintings available for sale because I have a multi kind of tier business at the moment. Of course, the magazine, and then my one-on-one coaching and my coaching programs. And then other things like small workshops, books, they're great and they're kind of like a passive income, but I'm not going to spend tons of energy promoting them and launching them, because if I am just worried about paying my bills and I just need to make a number quota, I'm going to keep it really simple and go straight for the gold. I'm going to pick up the lowest hanging fruit and I'm not going to worry about the rest. So as part of your homework, if you're trying to slow down, give yourself more space and time so you can play, go hiking, take up a new hobby, do yoga, go for walks with your dog, whatever you want to do that you feel like you don't have enough time for, or maybe it's just spending time with your loved ones and kids. I want you to take a look at your creative business and really just take a look at your bank statements, at your sales reports. If you use PayPal, Stripe, usually they'll give you reports for free. If you use an app like Shopify, they have reports. If you use for online teaching, like courses like Kajabi or Teachable, they usually have analytics in there as well. So if you just take some time and look at your numbers, you'll see what products or offers or types of art are bringing you actual financial results. So the rest of your time you can spend on enjoying creating work from the heart. And if you need to make financial goals, you can focus on those specific things that data shows you that is bringing you revenue. So that's been a really helpful thing in my business. So that way I'm not wasting tons of energy. And lastly, this really is a tip for all parts of life, but just developing a sense of faith and awareness and knowing that you're always supported, even if you've gone through trauma or difficult seasons like I know I have. I've gone through really poor times of my life where I didn't have enough money, and it really did create a lot of fear in me. I am definitely still a little bit scared about, losing it all, going broke, and all those experiences have left a really strong impact on me. But I remind myself at the same time as I've had those negative experiences, I've also had solutions, breakthroughs, miracles, and support. And I was never stuck in those situations. So even if things seem rough, knowing that we can always come out of it, grow out of it, come up with the solution, and be resourceful. I hope you're taking some time and slowing down if that feels good for you, or honoring the pace that you're at. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe you're full of energy right now, and that's wonderful. But I just want to encourage you that if you do need a break, just know that you can still build a highly profitable and sustainable business without feeling like you have to be on all the time. Do the minimum you need to do to pay your bills for now until you get some more energy. Focus on the things that are bringing actual results and set an intention so when you are showing up and posting or recording a video, that you're just trying to reach the people you're trying to reach and you don't need to worry about the rest. Thank you so much for watching. I love sharing these little updates with you. Let me know if this was helpful and what you'd love to hear from me next.